Hi everyone, this is Lesley Lykins with CXPA, and I am joined by two of our CXPA team members, Derek Iverson and Adrienne Bryant, on our video feed today. We are so happy to have you here with us, and we look forward to walking you through the CCXP renewal process. We know we've had a lot of questions on our end regarding this, as well as submitting continuing education credits and timelines, and we hope to address those questions for all of you today. If you do have questions and you'd like to submit those, please feel free to do so through our online chat function, and we will get to your questions as well during our webinar today. But before I start off, I just wanted to have Derek and Adrienne introduce themselves, and I will give you a bit more about what their role is with CXPA. So we'll start with Adrienne. Adrienne is our CCXP Program Manager. Adrienne, can you tell everyone just a bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Adrienne. I too am a certification holder, not the CCXP, not yet, but I hold the Certified Association Executive certification. So that basically means that I should know what I'm talking about when it comes to association stuff. I have a history of running a certification program and have worked with associations for almost 9 years. So I'm excited to be here with the CXPA and to get to know everyone.
And Adrienne's been with our team now for just about a year at this point with CXPA, and you may have met her at our most recent Insight Exchange. Again, Adrienne is our CCXP Program Manager, and if you send an email to CCXP support, the likelihood is Adrienne is the lady that's answering that email. And I'd like to introduce Derek, who's here with me. Derek, do you want to tell them a bit about yourself?
For sure. So Derek Iverson here. I'm actually pretty new to the CXPA. I just joined the team back in July, but I have been brought on as the Membership Community Manager. I specialize working with and offering day-to-day support with our local networking program, as well as with CCXP candidates and designees. So one of the top priorities for me for 2018 is to build out a community, a brand new community for all CCXP designees. And in the meantime, right now, I'm helping out Adrienne with some of the support issues that may come up and helping you all as previous candidates get on the right track to be certified.
So we'll share Derek and Adrienne's email addresses here a little bit further along in the webinar, but you should know that Adrienne handles all of our program management for candidates, as well as the authorized resource training providers, and she's all of the oversight on the policy and procedure behind the Certified Customer Experience Professional. Derek is your community manager once you've become a CCXP. He is here to support you and also listen to hear if there are any ways that you feel we can bring more value to the certification in the industry and the marketplace. So without further ado, we want to give you a little bit more data about what CCXP has grown into since 2014 during the launch. And Adrienne has some statistics for us to help you better understand how rapid this certification has been adopted. Adrienne?
Awesome. So, wow, this is awesome. So since 2014, and now we're just talking 3 years, you have had 660 people who have taken and passed the exam and become certified customer experience professionals. So that's awesome. And that represents 35 countries ranging from the United States to Australia to Botswana and anywhere in between. We've also had, in 2015, they began the Authorized Resource Training Provider program, and that has grown from 4 in 2015 to currently 9 in 2017, and looking to grow. I believe we have another 2 that we should be adding this year as well.
So just to give everyone perspective, we get multiple applications on a weekly basis. As you all know, because you've taken the certification exam, it's not an easy exam. We have a lot of people who study very hard for the exam, but it really is reliant on your experience and your expertise in this discipline. With that in mind, I just wanted to quickly talk a little bit about the importance of maintaining your continued knowledge and professional growth in the area of customer experience. And that's really what we're talking about today on this webinar, is why it's important to renew your certification and why we require continuing education credits as part of that. So we consider an active CCXP somebody who has taken and passed the exam. You have a 2-year period from the point in time when you pass that exam until you'll need to renew your exam. And during that 2-year period, we're really looking for you to continue your education and continue your thought development around customer experience. As we all know, this is a field that is growing and changing and evolving very rapidly, and so it's very important to continue to maintain the most up-to-date information around the discipline. With that in mind, we therefore require continuing education credits, 20 of them to be exact. Now, if you don't go through the renewal process, it just means that you've fallen off of our active CCXP list after a 2-year period. Granted, you have passed the exam and we understand you to be a true CX thought leader and expert, but it is important to remain active so that you have the benefit of that recognition publicly and you can maintain that CCXP designator behind your name on your resume and so forth. If you're not active, we are going to remove you from the directory. And there's opportunities like our upcoming Who's Who in Customer Experience book that you would no longer be eligible for. So I really do encourage you to maintain that certification. And we'll talk a little bit more later on in the webinar about what happens if you choose not to renew, but then later on come back and would like to become a CCXP active again. One of the things that we get asked most is about the CEUs, the Continuing Education Credits. So we wanted to briefly walk through what that process looks like and answer some of the frequently asked questions that we get. So Adrienne, can you just remind everybody what they need as far as continuing education credits?
All right, and so you do need a total of 20 continuing education credits that you can earn through, I believe it's about 5 or 6 different professional development areas. They're very easy to get. I mean, we offer webinars all the time. So getting those credits anytime you attend a conference, anytime that you take a college or university course that talks about customer experience, or you contribute to the CXPA as a mentor or volunteer, you can earn your continuing education credit.
So you should be able to see my screen at this point, and I do want to walk you through how you find the detailed information around these continuing education credits that Adrienne just mentioned. If you are on the CXPA.org website, you'll just need to navigate up here to the My Membership and Frequently Asked Questions. You will need to be logged in. Your profile picture should appear here in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll see this option. When you click on that, it takes you to a page that has a lot of information about CXPA and your membership in general. But here down towards the bottom is information on your CCXP. If you click into this Continuing Education Units page, it will take you to this page here. Now, if you are not a member of CXPA or you don't have a login, you can also navigate to this exact same page through our dedicated website at www.ccxp.org, and you can simply go to the For CCXPs page and arrive here as well. Now, there's a lot of really good information on this page. So Adrienne, let's walk everyone through this page a little bit more about these different professional development activities and how that equates in continuing education units.
Absolutely. So the great thing, starting at the top, again, one CEU, this is probably one of the questions that I get asked the most, is what equals a CEU? So for every hour of training and instruction that you get in a planned structured professional development activity, you earn 1 CEU. So for each 60 minutes of the clock, you earn 1 CEU. So if you were to attend a webinar that was an hour long, you would earn 1 CEU for that webinar. The great thing, again, as I said earlier, you have about 5 or 6 professional development categories that you can earn your CEUs in. And you can only earn a maximum of 10 CEUs per category because we want your education to be, we want you to diversify your education. We don't want you to get it all in one place. We want to encourage you to get out and not only attend conferences or attend webinars, but also to contribute to the CXPA by mentoring and giving back to those looking to earn their CCXP as well. So you'll see here. Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
You always get, so like the CXPA's annual conference is a 2-day conference, our Insight Exchange. And we have here that conferences give a maximum of 6 CEUs per day. However, with a 2-day conference like the Insight Exchange, the maximum number of CEUs that somebody would earn would be 10. Is that correct?
Correct. And then that would be your maximum you could earn for that conference category. So your other 10 CEUs, you would have to do a combination of the in-company development or college university courses or contributing to the CXPA.
Okay, I think that really helps define the CEU portion, but I know we do get a lot of questions about how you submit them. So let's briefly go through how you're able to submit those CEUs into your profile and keep track of those. You'll see here on this exact same page, you can easily click into enter the CEUs now. When you click that, you'll have to enter your password, and then it will take you to your profile that looks just like this. And this is where you'll be able to track your number of CEUs that you have currently, and it also gives you the type of CEU as well. So there's sometimes perhaps, you might have the question of, hey, I went to the CXPA event, but I'm not seeing the event listed here on my CEU page. Adrienne, what do you recommend for people who come here, they check their CEUs, and something seems to be missing?
Absolutely. Just send us an email at the CCXP support@cxpa.org, and we'll make sure you get that again later. And just let me know what the event was that you attended, and I'll go through and verify that, and then we can make sure we get that added to your record.
We do work really hard from the CXPA side to make sure that anything that you are doing within CXP, whether it be one of our webinars or sponsor webinars, one of our events, the Mentor Match program, that all of that stuff is poured into your CEU profile so that you don't have to go about doing that extra work if it's related to things that you're doing through CXPA. However, sometimes we're going to miss something, and if you just want to give us a quick shout, we'll make sure that that gets added to your page. Now, if you have something that you're doing perhaps in company or you're going to an event outside of CXPA, you do have the ability here to report those CEU credits. So Adrienne, do you want to walk us through a little bit about what that process looks like?
Absolutely. So as Lesley has done, she's clicked on the report CEU credits, and you'll come to this page to self-report your CEUs. If you just need to quick look at what the guidelines are again, clicking that CEU guidelines will take you to that maintaining your certification status page that we showed previously. But this part is fairly easy. You'll just indicate what your credit type is. So if Lesley ticks where it says conference, you'll get a drop down of the different professional development areas. You choose your professional development areas. Let's say it was a webinar that you attended that wasn't related to the CXPA. Okay. And it was a 1-hour webinar, so you would enter 1 as your CEU, and then the date that you received that credit, the date that the webinar was held. Okay. And then in our notes and description, as we all know, the more information we have, the better. So if you could just give us, the description that was sent out for that particular webinar, just so that when we go through and verify, one of the things we look for is, does it match up with one of the competencies from the exam blueprint? What was learned, what were the outcomes that were supposed to be learned from that? And you'll just put that information in there, name of the webinar, etc. And then once you've put in all of your information, you'll just click Create. Now, of course, there's the question of, okay, well, this wasn't something that was related directly to the CXPA that they offered. So how do they know? How can they confirm this information? Again, that same email address that we gave you earlier, the CCXP support@cxpa.org. You'll just send us the documentation, whether it's forwarding an email or attaching a document, a PDF document of an agenda. You'll just send that information directly to that email. We'll take it against what you've entered, and then get back to you and let you know that we've received it, and confirm the number of CEUs for you, and let you know if you met your CEU requirement or how many more you need to meet your requirement.
Thanks, Adrienne. So if you didn't notice, it does automatically populate those CEUs to your page once you submit them. Adrienne, as our program manager, does go through and verify that we have the correct records and the information that we need to account for these CEUs to ensure that you do have your 20 when it comes up to time for renewal. Adrienne, a question that we sometimes get is, do these CEUs expire? How do you answer that question?
So yes, unfortunately they do expire. So you start earning your CEUs from the moment that you pass your exam. So let's say you pass your exam today, the 6th of November. So that would be your certification date. And you have 2 years from today in order to earn your CEUs so that you can renew in 2 years. So your certification would expire on 11/6/2019. So you have from 11/6/2017 to 11/6/2019 to earn those 20 CEUs that you need in order to renew in 2019. Once you renew on 11/6/2019, those previous 20 and any that you earned during that 2-year period, they do expire because, again, we want you to start over because, again, we want you to continue to seek professional development, to keep learning about what's going on in the industry. So we want you to earn a brand new 20 CEUs from the 2019 to the 2021 period.
Adrienne, we have a question regarding the mentor program. A lot of our CCXPs participate in the mentor program, and the question is, which of the CEU categories would best answer to that mentor program if you're volunteering as a mentor? My thought is it's probably going to be CCXP volunteer, but would you say something different?
It would be, I think it's called on their CXPA contributions. And that's where all of your mentoring and any volunteer work that you do would go under the CXPA contributions.
And that goes for committees as well. If you've been serving on a particular committee like our International Advisory Board, our Insight Exchange Planning Committees, our CX Day Planning Committees, or any one of our other professional development or metrics and measurement committee, all of those committee calls and work could go through your CXPA contributions category up to the 10 CEUs. So helpful information for those of you who are very involved with CCXP on a volunteer basis. All right, let's briefly go through the timeline. Adrienne, can you share with everybody, when can we start submitting CEUs during the process? What does that renewal timeline look like?
Okay, so you can start as soon as you've passed that exam and you've got that official you passed, you can start submitting your CEUs for your renewal period for the 2 years. So again, using today as an example, I passed today on 11/6. I'm certified officially, and tomorrow I attend a webinar or I attend a conference, 2-day conference, and I earn CEUs for what I've attended because now I'm certified. So I can record those CEUs towards my 20 CEU requirement. You have until the 2 years from today, so you would have until 11/6/2019 to get meet your 20 CEU requirement and pay your maintenance fee in order to renew your certification for the next 2-year period.
And I'm going to clarify something really fast, Adrienne, with you. The expiration for CEUs, that doesn't expire from 2 years from the date that you add it to the system. It's really all about your CCXP renewal period. So you're able to gather CEUs up until the point when you come up for renewal, and then once you've renewed, your CEUs will go down to 0 and you'll begin again. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct.
So it's not from the date that you achieve that CEU, it's really based on your renewal. So you're able to
correct.
Earn 20 CEUs, and then your slate goes clean to 0 once you've renewed and you begin again for the next 2-year period. We just had a question about that and I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question.
Okay, so that's great. So you can begin earning CEUs the moment that you become certified, and you can achieve those as quickly as you want to get them submitted and into the system. What about the renewal fee? Can we talk a bit about what the renewal fee is and when people should pay that renewal fee for their CCXP?
Absolutely. So the renewal fee is $199 if you're a member of CXPA. And if you've not yet decided to join us, it would be $349. And and that can be paid at the maximum up to 12 months prior to your expiration date. If you pay it the 12 months prior, so if I decided to pay on 11/6/2018 and pay my maintenance fee, it does not extend, it doesn't give me any extra time. The expiration date still would be changed to 2021, but you've just gone ahead, you've decided to go ahead and get that out of the way now so you don't have to think about it next year.
Okay, so you can pay up to 12 months in advance of your renewal date, and it will basically extend your CCXP as an active CCXP for a 2-year period from the date that you would have expired at that 2-year mark. So good information if you want to get that out of the way early and not have to wait and accidentally miss your renewal date, which we have quite a few questions that come in about that. So Adrienne, let's talk about what happens if you miss your renewal date and it goes by and you either forgot to submit your CEUs in time or you didn't pay that renewal fee. Can you talk a little bit about what happens once your CCXP expires and what the next steps would be?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, this is something that we don't want to happen, but in case, you know, life happens, so starting 90 days prior to your expiration, you should receive a notice from us, a renewal notice, letting you know that, oh my gosh, 2 years has almost gone by, it's time to renew, this is how many CEUs you have, and you can go, here are the links to update your CEUs and to pay your renewal fee. If for some reason life happens and you're not able to renew during the time of your expiration, we do extend a 30-day grace period that would give you a 30 additional days to get your CEUs up to date and to pay your renewal fee. Because we really don't want to see anyone have to go through that process. We additionally, after that 30-day grace period, we're going to give you one last chance. So you will get an additional 3 months. So let's say, again, something happened and you just need that extra 3 months. We will give you an additional 3 months, again, to meet your CEU requirement if you have not already, and to pay your maintenance fee. But it does come with a price. There will be a late fee that goes along with that. But in that time period from that 30-day, after the 30-day grace period, you are listed as inactive and are removed from the CCXP directory until you get everything back up to meeting your requirements and paying that renewal fee.
Does that mean, Adrienne, if they let their CCXP lapse, that they'll have to retake the exam?
If they go beyond that last 3 months that we give you with the late fee, let's say now we're 5 months, we're into that 5th month, unfortunately, this is the part that no, we don't like, but unfortunately, you would have to go back through that entire process again of submitting the application, getting approved, paying the exam fee, and taking that terrible test again. No one wants to take that exam again. So, but unfortunately, in order to become an active CCXP again, you would have to go through that process.
Okay, very helpful. And we had a couple more questions that came in. I think one point that came in is it would behoove you to definitely add your CEUs into the system as you complete them rather than waiting to backfill them you know, a month before you're up for renewal. So the sooner that you can remember to add some of those in, probably the better. And you can, again, meet that 20 CEU requirement pretty quickly if you look at it. I think many of our CCXPs are very active and are attending conferences and webinars, hosting webinars yourselves, and doing a lot of in-company work as well. So my guess is just to remember, or my words of advice would be just to remember to go in there and add that stuff as you're doing it rather than trying to backfill. Another question that came in was about the CCXP volunteer work and how you track that or demonstrate that. Now, our team is very familiar with the amount of work that goes into each committee, and so we do have our eye on that. I would specifically track the calls that you're participating in, and then if you want to keep a little spreadsheet or a notepad on the side that says, you know, you put this many hours of work into planning a local networking event or doing some innovation award analysis, something like that. That's all we need to know. Our team obviously is very aware of what you're doing as far as volunteer work through CXPA, and we're happy to recognize those credits to all of you who are doing great work out there. So I just want to double check and see if we have any additional questions from our team before I ask Derek to give you a little preview of an opportunity that you have as an active CCXP. And it looks like we have maybe one more question here. So there's a question about completing all of this 90 days before expiration date, and then the renewal date goes from the actual expiration, not 3 months earlier. That's correct. So if you complete your renewal fee and you complete putting your CEUs in, and you still have 3 months before your CCXP would have expired, we're going to give you 2 years on that CCXP from the date that it would have expired. So you're not losing out on anything if you take this process earlier than the actual expiration date. We also had a question about some of the CXPA webinars. So because of the way that we changed our registration system, we now manually have to go in on the back end and add those CEUs for your webinar participation. So if you know that you participated in a CXPA webinar over the past 6 months or so and it hasn't appeared on your CEUs, we're actively, the three of us are actively in the process of annotating that in your CEU record. So just be a little patient with us and we'll get all of those added here shortly. And then it looks like we have another question regarding a 6-week user experience course tied into customer experience. We would definitely recognize that. Adrienne, would you recognize that as a seminar or a class or a conference? Where would you put a 6-week course that somebody has taken?
That would be under seminar. I believe this is over a time period that would qualify as a seminar.
Okay, great. All right, in the last minute or so that we have here, I want to give Derek an opportunity to speak about a really great opportunity that you have available to you as an active CCXP. Derek?
Yeah, of course. So one thing that the CXPA publishes every 2 years, it's called the Who's Who of CX book. And this is an excellent way for you as CCXPs to be recognized as thought leaders in the CX space. Where it's listed on our website is if you go into the public resources tab, you can follow that up in the top navigation bar right up there and go to public resources. Again, of course, this is open to anybody that visits our website. You can see the most recent version of the ebook that we have published. So with the last one being in 2016, we're super excited to get the 2018 book out there. We have sent just a couple emails out to all the current CCXPs in our database. If you haven't received an email from either Lesley or I asking you to fill out the quick form with your information so that you can get published in the book, feel free to reach out to me and I can resend the link your way. You can find me at derek@cxpa.org. The spelling of my name is kind of funky, so you might just have to go to the Contact Us section to find my email address listed right there. Yeah, we of course keep it hosted on our website right there in the Public Resources tab. We also bring a couple printed copies along to our conferences too, right? So you can expect to see it at our Insight Exchange coming up in May of 2018. So yeah, really encourage you to submit your information for it. Again, it is only for people that are currently active CCXPs, so it's just an awesome way for you guys to stand out.
That's right. There's other opportunities that as you as a CCXP have available to you through CXPA, including specific speaking opportunities at our annual Insight Exchange, and some other CX expert opportunities that come with being a CCXP. Our whole team would like to encourage you to send us any thoughts or suggestions that you have. We look to continue to build emphasis around the power behind having that certification associated with customer experience. Specifically, we're working with HR and various organizations hiring for customer experience professionals and helping them become more informed about what a CCXP brings to an organization. But if you have suggestions or recommendations, please feel free to send those in to us. we're definitely looking for any of that information. And with that, I just wanted to check and see if we had any more questions that came in. It looks like we don't, though, but of course, our whole team is here ready and available to help you at any time. And we look forward to working with each of you as you renew this really, truly professional highlight that you have taken and achieved and accomplished. And we're so excited for each one of you who's been able to succeed with certification in this field. So thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to answering any of your questions in the future. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.